Ever since Chad Powers tried out for the football team, we've been adopting the think fast, run fast mindset.
Think fast, run fast. Think fast, run fast. Think fast. Think fast, run fast. Oh, crap!
Personally, I think it works better on the football field.
Ready, set, go.
Think fast, run fast. Think fast, run fast.
Next time you come to Champs, just remember to keep your head on a swivel.
For my day ones, they ain't in the studio over there.
I think we went too high.
Kia, movement that inspires.
This is the place where roadside markets are filled with fruits and vegetables, small batch jams and made from scratch pies, where mountain trails are explored with friends with names like Ghost and Traveler, where award-winning wines, craft-made beers and spirits are raised, hearty meals are served, and nights are shared under star-filled skies. This is Center County, Pennsylvania. To find out all that's happening, visit us at happyvalleyagventures.com.
Hi everybody, Mike the Mailman here, to tell you about a state college company that will help you follow the Nittany Lions to their bowl game. Collegiate Athletic Travel. From charter flights and on-site motor coaches to professional staff, the entire trip is easy and carefree. And with their 47 years in the business, you know you're in good hands. You'll get a game ticket and a lot more. Make memories to last a lifetime. Be there next time with Collegiate Athletic Travel.
Hey, Penn State fans, it's game time, and Sionka is hitting the field with 40 dealerships and 25 franchises in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. That means more choices and the perfect new or pre-owned vehicle priced to fit your budget. Plus, factory-trained service experts are just minutes away, and you can feel confident you're doing business with a family that treats you like family. We're a proud partner of Penn State Athletics and preferred auto dealer of the Penn State Alumni Association. The Sionka dealerships. Experience the difference.
And we are live here at Champs Downtown. It's the Blue and White Players Show coming to you as we do almost every Monday at 6 p.m. Took a little break last week to accommodate the crowd here at Champs for the, unfortunately, MLB runner-up Philadelphia Phillies to play their World Series game. But enough said about that. Glad to have you here with us. We're bringing you the story of Penn State's 2022 season from the perspective of former and current Nittany Lions players. I'm your fake host, Chris Bucanani. I got my old school to the left, Keith Goon Conlon, former Penn State offensive tackle, Rose Bowl champion. Maybe a little more Rose Bowl talk in the offing for
possibly.
2022. I got my new school guy, former Penn State defensive lineman, Aeneas Hawkins. How you doing, man?
Hey, anytime I got super Juice Scruggs in the building, man, I'm blessed. I'm excited to be here.
Penn State starting center, and I don't even know if you know about this. I just saw it before the show started. Pro Football Focus's Center of the Week.
Oh, word.
Juice Scruggs. You can start a fight with football people if you bring up Pro Football Focus, because some people think it's like religion, and some people think it's a total
Until
scam.
you start winning the awards, you got nothing negative to say.
He won the awards,
PFF
so like
right.
PFF, we love you. Good stuff. Juice, thanks for joining us, man.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's good to have you here. So right out of the gate, we just always like to ask guys to introduce themselves to the audience and tell us a little bit about the path that brought you to Penn State.
Yeah, so I'm from Ashtabula, Ohio. I went to school in Erie, Cathedral Prep. I moved there my freshman year, and I just stayed in Erie, and we won back-to-back state championships against Emotep. from school from Philly.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And,
a lot of guys on this team from there.
Yeah, we do. Keon.
Still a lot of talk in the locker room over that, of course, right?
No, they're so young. They wouldn't even. Yeah, they weren't even on the team.
It doesn't matter.
So yeah, I definitely do.
Doesn't matter. I still break your guys' jobs, don't I?
Yeah, I talk my talk for sure. But yeah, one there had a good career there, and it was between here and Ohio State.
Oh, okay.
And I chose
good
the right.
choice.
Yeah, I chose
Yes.
the right place for sure. Yeah, and now I'm here in my 5th year, looking finish strong.
So I'd like to ask a little bit about the recruiting process. When did the offers start coming in for you?
So I played freshman year. I played freshman football, and I was like, I don't know football for me. You know, I'm just
Sure.
But I just kept working, and sophomore year I started on varsity, and then we went to the state championship. Lost to Emotep that year, got blown out, like I think 40-3, and then after that year, I think Syracuse was my first offer.
Good.
And then after that, it just kept coming. After my junior year, I had, I think, 15 to 20 offers, and that was that. Yeah.
Size-wise, what were you talking sophomore year? How big versus now?
Sophomore year, I was probably 6'2", like 250. Right now, I'm 6'3", like 315.
We'll say 6'4".
6'4".
For the NFL scouts out there.
I mean, ain't no need to lie. They gonna figure out.
They gonna see it.
So you remember AQ? You know the name AQ Shipley?
Yeah.
He won the Remington Award here. So
Award,
when I was coaching here, me and him had this thing going all the time where when the game was sort of out of reach and he was out of the game, I'd go stand next to him and this and that. He'd be like, Goon, he'd be like, whispering, good away from me. He's like, dude, I need every half inch I can get. I don't need your mutant ass standing next to me. And I used to listen to him like this. Where are your parents? I said, get away from me, man. So he just got done playing in the NFL last year, and he was in the Ohio State, or I think it was Ohio State he was at.
Yeah.
Minnesota, too. He was in the parking lot for the first time, and he was just like, this is awesome, I love it, and I keep on standing next to him. He's like, dude, come on, man. He goes, I guess it don't matter no more, though. But it was so funny. He's like, I need every half inch I can get. I don't need you.
That is funny, though. I feel him.
So what made Penn State stand out for you during the recruiting process?
Really, it was Coach Franklin, to be honest with you. I remember every time I came up, he showed me and my family like tremendous love. Like it was just us that was there on the visit. And I just remember, like, no knock to Ohio State and the other schools, but it just wasn't the same. Like when I came here, it just felt like home. And I had a gut feeling, like in my back of my head, I'm like, yeah, like the whole recruit process.
Yep.
After the whiteout game against Ohio State when they beat them. 2016, I'm like, yeah, I think Penn State's place for me.
I tell people that all the time. That game for our class is what landed 90% of the kids.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah. It was crazy.
Even the ones who weren't on the sidelines, just being in proximity to it, watching it on TV.
100%.
Yeah, definitely. And after that, I was like, yeah, Penn State's for me. And I'm happy I chose it, for real.
People don't understand. They think that you're picking Penn State over Ohio State. Well, you could have gone to Ohio State and played for national titles. You came here for that reason also. Right. But it's about a feel you have. Mm-hmm. It's about how you feel with the coach and how you feel with the coach and your family feels with the coach.
Yeah, most definitely.
That's 100% what it is. And people are like, oh, well, you could. I mean, any one of us could have gone anywhere we wanted.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's all on how you feel, who made you feel special, who made you feel part of it, and that's really, it's the dynamic of the recruiting coach and the head coach of how the relationship, that you got to build a quick relationship with people.
Definitely.
And that's a little bit different now because you guys are getting recruited so much younger and you're committing earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't have to commit until like February after my senior year.
Right.
I mean, you're a whole year ahead or behind, well, ahead of me, with your, you know, where you're going and, so we talk about all the time the official visits. So where else did you said Syracuse? Did you?
So,
yeah, see that?
So I wish I would have did it different. This is one thing I regret.
This is not the first time we heard this.
So I committed going into my senior year. So like I wanted to get it done before my senior year. I didn't want to worry about it during the year, like with football season. And I did it. And then when I did it, my plan was to go on official visits everywhere else.
You got that call from Franklin.
And Franklin was
you got
like,
that call.
Yeah, you're committed. So that means no official visits anywhere else.
That is a fool's game to play.
And I was like, in the back of my head, I'm like, I don't know. But I was like, all right, coach, yeah, I'm down. I'm 110% committed. So Penn State was the only place I went on my official visit. I do regret it, but it all worked out, so I'm not tripping.
It was different back in the day. I mean, it was Wild Wild West stuff back in the day. I mean, it's a little bit different now. It's a little more with so little. But you how many times did you visit before?
Yeah,
I mean, you were
like at least 4 or 5.
And doing games and stuff like that. So we weren't doing any of that type of stuff. I know. I remember my first visit was Florida State, and it was like I had just lost a playoff game. And the guy calls me and he's like, "Hey man, we're playing Florida next week. You should come down." And I'm like, "Oh my God!" I was like pissed off we lost our game, but I was like, "I'm gonna go to Florida State." And my parents were like, "Well, we can't afford to go down there." I mean, and that's another thing that people don't understand is that parents aren't free on official visits.
Right,
they got to foot the bill to get. I mean, they'll reimburse driving and stuff like that, but the parents, you're not. Your parents. If I wanted to visit Florida State with my parents, they had to fly down on their own dime.
Yeah,
that can get pretty costly and pricey. So, but I remember I took 4, and I got Dick Anderson and Joe Paterno were like, "Hey, we still need to recruit you. What's going on?" You know what I mean? Like, hey, I'm like, "Oh, I have another visit next week to Florida," and they're like, "We need to recruit you or not." Right. And they had it set up where I was like, I'm committing to you. I'm committing here. I'm coming, no matter what. But I do want to take my visits. And they were cool with it. They didn't want to announce anything. They couldn't. They weren't allowed to announce anything back then either. It was on the player to announce. The school had nothing to do with it because you weren't part of the school yet.
Right.
Until letter of intent day. And so my head football coach found out that I had committed. He's like, "Well, did you commit?" I said, "Yeah, I committed to Penn State this weekend." He's like, "Well, you're not going to Florida this weekend. You're not going there." And I'm like, yeah. And he gave me the biggest guilt trip, but I didn't go.
See, that's the problem.
See, there you go. That should make you feel a little bit better.
No doubt about it. And then I had it all set up because I was going to go to Maryland because Fitz was getting recruited by Maryland. Fitz was my old best friend from high school, the old strength coach here before you guys.
Yep.
And me and him we had it all set up. We're partying Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And friends down there had it all set up, and then the coach screwed me, man.
Those official weekends, man, are like nuts. Like until you experience one, it's hard to put it into words.
Yeah, I mean, I visited, like I said, I visited Florida State for the Florida game. I mean, it's like that's your official visit.
Yeah.
So they had like they had grad assistants, and they were unlimited grad assistants back in the day. So I had a couple old like first or second year guys out of there. They're finishing their degrees and they're like, "Yeah, we'll take these guys out." And I'm telling you, I never shot a gun in my life. I shot guns that weekend, and I never had alligator in any way.
You had alligator that weekend.
I had it every way you could possibly have it, and it was unbelievable.
Did you shoot alligators?
No, we were shooting when you couldn't see alligators. It was about 3 a.m.
What it taste like, alligator?
Well, again, I had it like 4 different ways, and it's what they say. It does taste like chicken.
It does taste like chicken.
It really does. I mean, you had it. Then they had it in the gumbo. Then they had it in the deep fried, and it was like, "Oh, you don't have to try anything once." So it was really good. I got no complaints.
Okay, so I think we beat the hell out of the recruiting process.
Recruiting stories here. If we have an X-rated version, we can go to real recruiting stories.
God, I would love to do that. Not on this show.
No.
I'm going to pivot to talking about your playing career, Juice. One of the things that I am interested in is the transition from guard to center. That, to me, seems like that's a big move to make, and that's a transition you made this year. So can you talk a little bit about what that's been like for you?
So, for me personally, it wasn't a hard transition at all. Because I came in to play center.
Okay. So did you play center in high school?
No, I played tackle in high school.
Okay.
Straight tackle, and I played D tackle. And when I came here, they was like, "Yeah, you're a center."
Yeah, sure.
So I played center. I played D squad the whole year. Freshman year, I played center. And then so like when they moved me to guard, it was like, all right, I really had to learn how to play guard.
Right.
Because I already learned how to play center.
Yeah. Okay.
So I had to learn how to play guard. And then I learned how to play guard, started last year at right guard, and then Coach Shaw was like, "Yeah, you're probably going to play center this year." And I'm just like, all right, I'm ready for it. That's what I came here to do anyways.
Okay, right. That makes sense.
So, yeah, it was an easy transition. And to be honest with you, center, once you get your snap down and once you figure out like your calls and stuff, it's really like you're playing right guard, left guard, depending on which way you set.
Okay.
Right. Was that help?
Always got help.
Always got help.
Always
Never
got
alone,
help.
man.
Always got
a hand,
help.
but you got
my guys know, like, if it's any type of way they can go help that tackle, I tell them go help that tackle. I'm good.
Oh, you don't need no help.
I'm good.
So you started as center on the D squad. Was there some Aeneas versus Juice?
Oh, we had our matchups. We had our matchups. I didn't win a lot of them. But I won a couple. I promise you I did.
Hawk got me a couple of times. Hawk had some moves now.
Back when these knees still work, I had a little bit.
That'll do
He
it.
had moves when he knew it was a pass and he knew it was a run.
Yeah, but I knew what time it was. When I learned
when
the
it was a
call,
scrimmage, he was like this.
I'm watching the offense make the signals. I'm like, oh yeah, we got inside zone. I'm ready.
Yeah, we definitely had some battles though.
So to follow along on that, I know you guys were roommates freshman year as well.
Way back, 719 Beaver Hall. We can't tell those stories on the air.
No,
this is not.
We can't.
There's not a single PG-13 story?
Oh man, I'm sure there are.
Just answer one of my questions.
What's that?
And I didn't know if the freshmen, if he still put freshmen in the dorms.
Yeah. Well, they're not in Beaver Hall anymore. They have AC and like bigger rooms.
Dude,
They
you have
live
cable.
a more
You have a microwave in your
bougie lifestyle.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They live a
You
more
guys had
bougie
cable and a microwave, all right? I had rabbit ears on like a 12-inch TV, man.
Okay.
So
it's not our fault that technology advanced over 20 years.
I understand. 10 years.
No doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt.
I know that I was honestly, people have asked me that before, like, does James still put freshmen? Because I swear to God that I still people that I know that from my freshman dorm that I talked to back in the day and stuff like that and hung out with. As you're only, you have your football family, that's what you have, and then you have your, off field. So it is cool that he does do that there because you still have the college experience.
Yeah,
but then we're too big to be living in those dorms typically.
Yeah. If you saw
that's a fair point.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, me and Eric Claire were in a room together, and they it was in the end 201 Porter Hall, and it was like our beds were like we were sitting there, and I'm like, dude, I'm like touching him, like we get like high five in the middle of the night, like that's how close it was. It was like we're too damn big for this place.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Well, that's good that he does that because
it's humbling.
It's very humbling, but it's also good humbling though.
Yeah.
You asked for a PG-13 story in the dorms. I want to share this with the people. We were freshmen, and when you're a freshman, you're not playing. You got those Friday morning red shirt lifts.
Yes.
Okay. Juice and I were both good kids. We did what we were supposed to. We were on time. That was our thing, right? We was gonna do what we were supposed to. The lift started at 7 o'clock that morning. I wake up to my phone. It's a Friday morning. I look at my phone. It's 7:24. Juice is sound asleep on the other side of the room. I look at Juice Scruggs. I'm like, hey, man, wake up. Don't panic. It's already too late. It's 7:24. Juice Scruggs got out of his bed into the weight room 10 minutes before I got there. He sprinted over there, and it made me look bad because I didn't hustle over there. We were already late. We were supposed to be a team on that, and he just took off without me.
Deej was out there with a stopwatch.
Yeah, they were waiting.
Deej was waiting for it.
Yeah, they were ready.
40 time down.
They were ready.
And that was the only time me and Hawk.
Only time.
You were late
ever.
one time.
Only time
and you
we
get
late.
punished for it.
And we'll never late again.
Never late again.
Sleep and lash if you got to.
I overslept. So my true freshman year, when I was in your situation, that's when everybody redshirted. I think we only had 4 kids who actually played at the 36 who came in. We had Saturday morning lifts before the game.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So we would go in there, and it was like they didn't have like the massive complex you guys have now, and we didn't have like the 10 trainers and stuff like that. So it was like, all right, me and you pair up on Saturday. We'll get in there. So depending on how your Friday night was, is how much, what are you spraying on your shirt? On your gray shirt to see if I just got done my workout, coach. I'm good to go.
You just finished, coach.
And there was definitely some of those like, I can't do this today, but just get me through it and get through it.
Those days happen. Yeah.
Absolutely. Once.
One time.
You show up to practice hungover one time. Once. And that's the last time you do that.
Well, man, that segment flew by. It's a lot of good. Juice, you guys are having a really good season, a great dominating win on the road last week. look, you're going to play some teams who just need to get their butts handed to them, and then that's who you got up against last week, and you did what you were supposed to do. Right?
Just remember in 2014, they refused to shake our hands. I will never ever forget
Franklin
that.
still plays that clip.
He should.
They're good.
I would play that on the reel away from all week.
Yeah, he won't forget it either.
He won't let us forget that.
Yeah.
Oh, they ended up beating the hell out of us.
Yeah.
That was the low point.
I didn't know that. They won.
They won that game.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
And that was like, well, you want to get disrespected? They disrespected you, but
it was that deep too, right?
Yeah, it was home. That was the low of the lows.
Yeah, I mean, 65 scholarships. And,
no doubt about it. I mean, I get it.
Makes it tough.
Stephon Diggs, you see what happened to him? They lost to the Jets.
There you go.
So, karma's a bitch.
Was he on that team? On that Maryland team?
Oh, yeah. He was one of the captains that came out, I am pretty sure.
Oh, he was one of those guys.
Yeah. So, remind him when you guys get your chance. You remind him. We are rooting you guys on. We are really hoping for the tumblers to fall into place for New Year's 6 bid.
Yep.
But either way, you guys are on a path to get a postseason matchup that's going to really allow you to put a good capper on the season.
Right.
It's been great having you join us. Juice, we're going to be back on the other side of the break here on the Blue and White Players Show, live from Champs Downtown. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Ever since Chad Powers tried out for the football team, we've been adopting the think fast, run fast mindset.
Think fast, run fast. Think fast, run fast. Think fast. Run fast, think fast, run fast. Oh, crap!
Personally, I think it works better on the football field.
Ready, set, go.
Think fast, run fast. Think fast, run fast.
Next time you come to Champs, just remember to keep your head on a swivel.
For my day ones, they ain't in the studio, but they're
I think we went too high.
Kia, movement that inspires.
This is the place where roadside markets are filled with fruits and vegetables, small batch jams and made from scratch pies, where mountain trails are explored with friends with names like Ghost and Traveler, where award-winning wines, craft-made beers, and spirits are raised, hearty meals are served, and nights are shared under star-filled skies. This is Center County, Pennsylvania. To find out all that's happening, visit us at happyvalleyagventures.com.
Hi everybody, Mike the Mailman here, to tell you about a State College company that will help you follow the Nittany Lions to their bowl game. Collegiate Athletic Travel. From charter flights and on-site motor coaches to professional staff, the entire trip is easy and carefree. And with their 47 years in the business, you know you're in good hands. You'll get a game ticket and a lot more. Make memories to last a lifetime. Be there next time with Collegiate Athletic Travel.
Hey, Penn State fans, it's game time, and Sionka is hitting the field with 40 dealerships and 25 franchises in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. That means more choices and the perfect new or pre-owned vehicle priced to fit your budget. Plus, factory-trained service experts are just minutes away, and you can feel confident you're doing business with a family that treats you like family. We're a proud partner of Penn State Athletics and preferred auto dealer of the Penn State Alumni Association. The Sionka dealerships. Experience the difference.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Blue and White Players Show presented by Lion Country Kia. Check out their inventory at lioncountrykia.com. We are here live at Champs Downtown on South Allen Street, right across from the Allen Street gates, the heart of Happy Valley. And we're calling an audible at the line of scrimmage. We were going to bring Kalen King in here, but Kalen can't make the show tonight, so we're going to stick around with Juice Scruggs for another segment. Now,
Heavy lifting offensive linemen is what we do.
Yeah, we have
all the hard work.
We have brought all different position groups on this show.
Aeneas is over there saying, "Oh, the D-line."
But it is always it brings a little extra joy to your heart.
Of course.
When we got a fellow O-lineman.
Absolutely.
On the show. Yeah. So we'll talk a little O-line play.
Offensive lineman at that.
Before we do that, you guys were able to connect on something that shocked the hell out of me.
It did me too. I'm not going to lie to you.
So I know from years of doing the TV show with Brandon Noble that the hotel the team used to stay at, when they would go out to Bloomington, had kind of a, Camp Crystal Lake hotel from The Shining type quality to it.
That's Friday the 13th.
And so
The Shining, you're right. The Shining is a good call too.
That's Noble's example. He calls it The Shining.
Oh man, that's even better.
Although he did say, did they feed you guys?
Yeah.
Did you get to try the apple pie? I know you're a healthy eater. You probably didn't.
The apple. I didn't try the apple.
Okay, so Noble says they have the best apple pie on earth.
He was a sweet tooth.
But. So we're talking about this creepy old ass hotel that you used to stay at, and we thought for sure, there's no way in 2022 they're still staying at the same Camp Crystal Lake from 1995. But
we did.
It has to be the same place. He said they pulled up, old ass hotel, had a little smell to it, and looked like a ski lodge on the inside on the lake. And I was like, I started having like nightmares. I was like, wait, what? I was like, are you serious? And I literally thought the place was like condemned in like the early 2000s. I mean, I'm sure it's a great hotel in the off season, but I mean, we still, ex-players, we still talk about like our bowl trips, or not bowl trips, but like the away trips or something like, remember that hotel in Indiana? We still talk about it. It's like, dude, like we pulled in, and like I was saying before, it must have been after daylight savings time, but then again, I don't think Indiana does daylight savings time, do they?
I couldn't tell you.
I'm just telling you, we pulled in there at dark, so we couldn't see the lake. We just like, we're on this road and we're like, where the hell are we? And we pull up to this hotel. We pull up to this hotel and we're like, oh dude. And it was almost like I swear to God, it was so dark. I mean, it was like, there was no lights inside at all. It was like, what the hell is going on here? It was so dark, everything was dimly lit, and it was crazy. I mean, remember it to this day. I don't remember. Usually I remember what kind of food we had. That's like our thing. But I don't remember one thing about that place other than the smell.
You just remember thinking there was probably a serial killer hanging out somewhere. I was looking for hockey masks. That's all I'm going to say. A machete and a hockey mask, or two little kids, two little girls in dresses coming down the hallway. You stayed at this hotel a couple years ago, right?
Yeah. No, it's terrible. It's one of the worst experiences I've ever had. Actually,
it's
not to be rude. I'm not on the team, so I can be transparent about it.
I can't believe they still make. I mean, Pat Kraft's got to get on this.
It's crazy to me. Like, so these road trips you guys have taken so far this year, you had to stay. I feel like every time the story gets told, you stayed a little bit farther away from Auburn. Like now, it was like you had a hotel that was 2 hours away from the Auburn campus, and they sent you the Shining Hotel for Indiana. It just seems crazy to me that there's not like a, like a Penn Stater or a Top Trees in every Big Ten college town by now.
See, but where
the team can stay.
Where do the away teams stay when they come here?
I think they're at the Penn Stater normally, right? Or is it
the Ramada?
Always the Ramada.
Okay.
Basketball,
has been for years.
The away teams stay at the Penn Stater.
There's only 20 rooms versus 100 rooms.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think
but still, that's 10 minutes away from Beaver Stadium.
No doubt.
Yeah, that's wild.
I actually, when I did talk to Pat Kraft, bringing his name up again, sorry, but I did ask him, and you guys are like this as players, like, I would love to feel what the opposing team feels. They land in State College, and cornfields and everything, the trees and mountains everywhere, and you're driving around Top Trees and you pull up and then boom, there's 107,000 stadiums just sitting there.
Yeah.
And Pat was like, yeah, dude, it's like, you're like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Because it just appears.
Yeah.
You come out of the woods and then boom, there's 107,000.
Right by Top Trees,
And I always asked him, I said, what was your guys feeling? It was like, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Looking at that place.
I mean, as a recruit, that's like one of the main things that makes you want to come. The way it just pops out, it's like, wow, like this is crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. There's just not a whole lot of places like it countrywide.
Juice, the question I always ask, I'm just very curious about with everybody, is before you actually started getting recruited by Penn State, was the program on your radar at all? Like, were you aware of them as a, growing up or whatever? And I mean,
I'm gonna be completely honest.
That's fine.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I grew up Ohio State fan.
Sure. I mean, you're an Ohio kid.
So I'm an Ohio kid,
makes sense.
That's
Urban
all I
Meyer's
know.
hometown.
My whole family's Buckeyes fans. So I knew about Penn State,
sure,
but I didn't know that it was like that. Like when we visit and saw 107,000 all white just light up the field, I was like, whoa, like I never seen nothing like this before.
See, that to me is so interesting because, you know, I'm a Pennsylvania kid. Like I grew up in a family with a lot of Penn State alumni. So like I was born and bred into this from day one. So I knew I've been coming to games since a little kid. I always think it's really interesting to hear from people like you who didn't really get introduced to what it's all about until the recruiting process started. In many ways, I think that's better because then it's Penn State selling itself against everybody else, mano a mano on a level playing field.
We aren't a city school. We understand that. We know that. I mean, us in Indiana and Purdue are some of the smaller teams out there. Most other schools are located in big cities.
Yeah, sure.
And, you know, I've always, you know, on our radio show, we talk about how we were somewhat disadvantaged in the NIL because we don't have the infrastructure to support and stuff like that. And that's going to be an ongoing problem. But hearing you say, because a lot of people, you're a smart offensive lineman is what you are, so you're not interested in the flash and cash of the big city and all the hype and this and that. Like, you understand, you're here for a job. You get an education, you work hard, you go to the next level. That's what we do. Absolutely. You know, and I keep on staring at Aeneas. Like, I'm not making fun. I'm not making a joke. You got a scowl on your face.
No, I'm dialed in.
I know. I'm waiting for you. Like, yo, dude. No, but I mean, it's refreshing to hear that the lure of State College can still like get top recruits. You know what I mean? Not everybody's so infatuated or stuck on, you know, I can get this deal, that deal. I mean, I'm sure we're going to deal with that in the next few years as more kids come on and they start getting paid younger and younger. But it's nice to hear that you know, something like that. That's what got you here.
Right. I think, to me personally, I think like State College being such a small town and just a college town, I think that really, I think it helps. Really.
It was attractive.
Yeah. Like
I think it is the perfect place to go get away for a few years and learn and perfect your craft.
And like just focus.
Did you ever see Batman Begins with Christian Bale, the first Batman movie? So it's all about how Bruce Wayne becomes Batman, right? It's not that old. That movie's not that old.
We were like probably
20 years.
We were 3 or 4 when that came out, though.
There are these things called Netflix. They even have DVDs. I don't know if you've ever heard of those.
Okay.
I got to get you on the Christian Bale Batman trilogy. But anyway, so it's all about how Bruce Wayne becomes Batman. So he leaves Gotham City and he goes to some like monastery up in the mountains.
I've seen it.
And that's what he trains. And he turns into Batman. Then he comes back to Gotham City. And that's what I say. That's the recruiting pitch for Penn State. You can come here. You can experience like the Americana of a college town. You can still play in front of 100,000 people. You can still become part of an alumni network that is all over the world. And you can be part of one of the hottest programs in converting high school talent into top flight college players who go to the next level. I mean, I think it's the total package. So talking about what Penn State brings to the table beyond just developing you as a football player, tell us a little bit about what you're studying at Penn State and what that side of your life at University Park is like.
So I'm a hospitality management major.
Okay.
So I'm studying like hotels, restaurants, like the management, like the business side of things. And it's been really good, you know, the SHM, the School of Hospitality Management, they've got a really good staff over there, and they help me out a lot, you know, because our schedule, as Aeneas knows, like, it's crazy, you know, the student-athlete life is different, and they help me out a lot, you know, like when I miss work for games, they always look out and, you know, say help me out, so it's definitely a good decision. I chose that major because they definitely did their part and helped me out, and it's been fun. I've had a good 5 years.
A lot of people in that major that are out in the real world people that they were talking to the same people and a lot of the same classes and stuff like that. So.
One of the alumni, Franco Harris.
Franco Harris.
There
you go. Here we go. Don't let him do that. That's
you were his lead blocking fullback, right?
Oh, Lord. That's a very underrated part of the student-athlete experience. So, like, if your faculty don't want to work with you with the crazy schedule of being a football player, it makes life way more difficult. So to have people that support you and want to help you through that stuff is big time, man.
Definitely.
Was that major on your radar coming in, or is that something that you kind of discovered as you got to Penn State?
Yeah, so like, I'm just like any other college student. I had no idea what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And as I was going through, like, only thing that kept popping up was how much I love food. And I want to own a restaurant.
Right.
So I was like, I'm looking at the majors, and I saw hospitality management. And I'm like, what is that? And I researched it, and it was restaurants. So I'm like, oh yeah, this is perfect. I just went with it.
So can you give us like a sneak peek of what your restaurant's name's going to be down the line? When you retire from the NFL, you're sitting on your money, you open your restaurant. What does it look like? And do I get a discount?
Now we're talking.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, I'm discounting.
You get a family discount.
I appreciate that. Okay.
But it's going to be like
You looking for free food over here? That's the line right there.
Oh, here he goes.
But it's gonna be like, you know what I'm saying, something cool, you know, little burger spot. You know, I ain't got the details down.
Okay.
But when they get it down, I'm gonna hit you up.
Hit my email.
Have you done the Cafe Laura yet?
Yep. 4:30. I actually did it this summer. Yeah, I should have came through. Yeah.
Oh man, I've been to some Cafe Laura's.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
I did it this summer.
Damn it.
Yep.
Those things are great. I love that.
Yeah, so for people who don't know, just to explain it real quick, so Cafe Laura is like a fully functional like restaurant here on campus. It's run by the Hotel Restaurant Management Program, and I guess it's
specialty dinners
linked up with a class, right?
Yeah,
you take a class, and you actually prepare and serve and do the whole deal, and you can put invitations out. And you go. It's like if you live here locally, you can go have a super nice meal,
great.
And it's all part of the hands-on learning.
Yeah, and you've got everything. The students bring everything from the menu, how they're cooking it, how they're serving it.
By the way, HRIM is not paying us for me to be out here plugging this.
Kim Cooper, you owe me money.
Yeah, we're doing this
one of your teachers
out of love.
Kim Cooper?
Yeah.
Good friend of mine.
Yep.
Great.
She was my teacher for 4 years.
Awesome. She's absolutely. Kim, you owe sponsorship money. I actually took a class. I mean, Pete Morty, I don't know if he was
going to ask,
working.
He retired.
Yes, he did. I had a class with him.
I was his last class.
He retired last year.
Oh, I didn't know.
One of the great people
Dr. Pete.
on this campus. He used to. I did an independent study with him when I was getting my master's degree and stuff like that. We did because we were researching. We had a freshman class, a really good freshman class come in, like Maben, Phil Taylor. Like we had to get guys to lose weight and had to gain weight. So I had to do. He was helping me out doing my, menuing and stuff like that, helping these guys out and all. So it was really cool.
Yeah, he was a great guy.
Right, he was a great guy. I love him.
Do you guys do Dr. Pete's? Do you guys
we
use
still
that?
got Dr. Pete's.
I believe it.
Nutrition bar.
Yeah.
They're very good, man. Very good stuff.
Definitely helped me gain my weight, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Listen, I was looking at a picture when we moved into Beaver Hall, and Juice was a little. I didn't even realize when we moved in, he was a little cat.
I was scrawny.
Like 6 months later, it was crazy. I'm not going to show you
What do I
this
always
picture.
say? It's better. It's easier to put 30 pounds on a guy
take it off.
than
No
have
doubt.
them take it off and put it on.
No doubt about it.
And you hear me complain about it all the time.
No doubt.
You have recruits coming in there 330 pounds. That's not good weight when you're 17 years old.
Tough.
Definitely not.
And did you play the offensive and defensive line in high school, right? Multiple sports?
No, I just football.
You just football?
I focus on football.
No shot put, no this, no basketball?
Nope, I just straight lifting, running, just getting ready for football.
Well,
no doubt.
I mean, you're one of the odd ones because that's one of my big things is I think that people should be playing multiple sports.
No, I definitely agree.
It is what it is. I mean,
I agree.
But I do have to say this, but the strength and conditioning program at the high school level is so much different than when I was playing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just insane. I mean, nutrition-wise, I mean, it's just crazy how far advanced you guys are.
Right.
That's good. It's a great thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the game is evolving. I mean, you guys were
just doing push-ups and lifting those big box TVs y'all used to have back in the day, man.
Big box. Yeah, you're right. Those things had wheels. You had to get them up the steps, though.
Oh man,
the big box TV. You're right. There's no doubt about it. I was in remote control for the first 18 years of my life for my father.
Moving typewriters
Get up
around.
and change the channel. Okay, Dad. Okay. That was my dad's remote control.
I still can't believe how old Batman Begins is now.
I can't believe that Indiana still let these people still stay at that hotel.
Yeah, whatever.
Batman or no Batman? I can't believe people actually go to that hotel.
Batman or no Batman.
Juice, thanks for sticking around for a second segment, man. We appreciate you very much. 7-2, but you just got to go 1-0 this week. Beat those Terps and keep it rolling. And that's what we are going to do. Goon and Aeneas and I will be back to wrap it up on the other side. You're watching the Blue and White Players Show presented by Lion Country Kia. We are live at Champs Downtown. Stick around. We will be right back.
Ever since Chad Powers tried out for the football team, we've been adopting the think fast, run fast mindset.
Think fast, run fast. Think fast. Run fast, think fast, run fast. Oh, crap!
Personally, I think it works better on the football field.
Ready, set, go.
Next time you come to Champs, just remember to keep your head on a swivel.
For my day ones, they ain't in the studio, but they're
I think we went too high.
Kia, movement that inspires.
This is the place where roadside markets are filled with fruits and vegetables, small batch jams and made from scratch pies, where mountain trails are explored with friends with names like Ghost and Traveler, where award-winning wines, craft-made beers and spirits are raised, hearty meals are served, and nights are shared under star-filled skies. This is Center County, Pennsylvania. To find out all that's happening, visit us at happyvalleyagventures.com.
Hi everybody, Mike the Mailman here, to tell you about a State College company that will help you follow the Nittany Lions to their bowl game. Collegiate Athletic Travel. From charter flights and on-site motor coaches to professional staff, the entire trip is easy and carefree. And with their 47 years in the business, you know you're in good hands. You'll get a game ticket and a lot more. Make memories to last a lifetime. Be there next time with Collegiate Athletic Travel.
Hey, Penn State fans, it's game time, and Sionka is hitting the field with 40 dealerships and 25 franchises in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. That means more choices and the perfect new or pre-owned vehicle priced to fit your budget. Plus, factory-trained service experts are just minutes away, and you can feel confident you're doing business with a family that treats you like family. We're a proud partner of Penn State Athletics and preferred auto dealer of the Penn State Alumni Association. The Sionka dealerships. Experience the difference.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to the Blue and White Players Show. We're coming to you live from Champs Downtown. We are presented by the good folks at Lion Country Kia. Trust them to set you up and check out their inventory at lioncountrykia.com. I am Chris Buchanani. I got Keith Goon Conlon, Aeneas Hawkins. Before we get into wrapping up Indiana and looking at Maryland and this stretch run, Goon, you just wanted to say a couple of words about a friend of the program we lost last week.
We lost a great man, a great Penn Stater, a great humanitarian, just a good human being in Marty Lane this past week. So I don't know if anybody out there would even know the name Marty Lane, but if you're in the Harrisburg area, you know exactly who that man is. He's done a lot for a lot of people. So had a celebration of life yesterday for him. A lot of people there. It was amazing who had showed up, and it was a tough one. And then the people I was with, my friends, the Schanfelters and I, and some other people, we made a pact yesterday. Live your life like Marty would and try to help somebody out every day. Try to make somebody else's life a little bit better, and that's the way Marty lived his life. Yeah. I mean, Marty could have been an old, crudgety old man and this and that, but he helped out more kids. I mean, he's sort of like, if he was still around, if he was still alive, he would be so mad that we were talking about him. That's just the kind of guy he is, but the amount of people that he has helped in his lifetime is just unbelievable. So,
great
Marty,
dude.
We love you, we miss you. Yeah. Rest in peace, fine sir.
Maybe the best praise I can give, a great Penn Stater.
Yes. Yeah, graduated in the late 50s, got out of college, and then joined the Pennsylvania National Guard, did his military service, and then started in the insurance business. And he was the kind of guy who, he didn't care if he had a good time. He wanted to make you have a good time.
Yeah.
In anything and everything he did. Everything. because he was big in going down to the Keys and fishing and stuff like that. So I asked my friend Austin, who'd known him for 30 or 40 years, and I said, was he a big fisherman? He says, no, but he wanted everybody else to be a big fisherman. Yeah. So he said he always take people out and loved people. He loved taking care of kids, and there's a lot of people down in the Harrisburg area who have been helped by Marty Lane and his family. Rest in peace.
Yes, a life well lived. None of us is around forever, and you just want to do what you can to leave a legacy, and Marty definitely did.
Yes, he did. I mean, you met him one time this summer, right?
Yeah. So shouts to Marty.
Makes an impression on you that fast that, when you and Brendan went to go see him this summer, and I called you guys last week and said, hey, Marty passed, and it was like, that hit you. It hit you hard, so life well lived. You said it right, though. Again, if we could just live your life to try and to help somebody in each and every day the way Marty would, you're in a good damn path.
Yep.
And now I feel like a network newscaster because I got to shift from the solemn section of the program back to something that I think probably has to have all of us and all Penn State fans feeling pretty good, which is the performance that we saw out of the Nittany Lions on Saturday. And, I think Marty would have loved that, too. That
pretty
performance
atmosphere
Penn
out there,
State
though.
turned in. All across the entire Midwest, there was some classic Big Ten football weather.
Ohio State was really bad.
It was terrible.
I mean, that was that's one of those games you talk about on the way home. Like, I don't ever want to do that again.
How about Northwestern has been making teams look bad on the stat sheet? Because if you didn't actually watch the game, you're like, 21 points.
Yep.
17 points, 5 turnovers. But if you watch it on TV, it was crazy. And it was not pretty in Bloomington.
It was a weird weekend here in Big Ten.
Yeah.
I mean, Illinois.
Michigan State beat them, didn't they?
And they whooped them. And they beat them up.
Yeah.
Who was more? I mean, is Sparty that sporadic team that jumps up and bites somebody? And then I know they were supposed to be a lot better than they were supposed to be.
Yeah.
So maybe
I think Sparty's the most baffling team in the Big Ten to me this year.
They're so hot and cold.
Yeah.
And when they're hot, they're still a decent football team. They can go beat you. And Illinois just found that out the hard way.
Because there's talent on the roster.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. But
I think that the fight and the suspensions, I think he reeled that team in a little bit.
That's exactly what
got those guys a little more focused.
The ability to recover from that that quickly.
And we haven't talked about that. I know we talked about it on the radio, though, but Aeneas can attest. I mean, I can't believe that was only the first or second
in that tunnel. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
With what is said and done in that tunnel for years and years and years.
Yep.
What happened is a disgrace.
Yep.
How it went down is an absolute disgrace. And Michigan State should be held accountable for that.
Yeah.
But the fact is, it never happened before, and allegedly never happened before.
Yeah.
I mean, it's surprising because of what's said. Like I told you on the radio, the visiting team runs up the tunnel, and there's 2 doors to get through. You got to put 100 people through those 2 doors. So there's going to be a logjam waiting up. And Michigan always likes to sit back there and chirp, 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 chirp.
That's the thing. They enjoy having the one tunnel.
They do.
So I remember we went in 2020, COVID year, no fans in the stands. I was the 4th string D tackle. I made the trip because I was a nice guy. I wasn't playing in the game.
You are nice.
I'm walking up the tunnel, and I remember there was 4 or 5 of them just chirping in the way in the tunnel, wouldn't let me through. And I remember thinking then, hey, this probably doesn't make sense long term for the safety of everybody involved.
Yep.
And it's actually astonishing to me that nothing has happened to this point that we've seen.
Yeah.
My prediction is that some lawyer, some risk management person at Michigan is going to get that changed real quick after what happened
2 times.
with Michigan
I know
State.
James, I didn't like when James complained about it 10 days or 8 days after. But then to see it happen that next weekend again, to that
he had a good point. He probably just didn't have to make it.
Right.
Correct. At that point, when you were getting ready for Ohio State, there's no reason to talk about something that happened 10 days before.
No doubt.
But talking about Michigan State upsetting Illinois, which is what it was for sure, which still seems kind of funny.
The Big Ten title runs through Champaign, Illinois.
That was huge for Penn State because with LSU beating Alabama, what looked like a pretty clear path to the Orange Bowl for Penn State if we can win out, all of a sudden is closed off very quickly because the number of ranked big SEC teams in front of us and Alabama falling out of the playoffs. But now, Illinois gets that extra loss, and they've still got to play Michigan at home.
Yep.
They've still got to play the Big Ten championship game. So you're going to be looking at, in all likelihood, a 4-loss Illinois.
Yep.
If Penn State can take care of business against the teams left on its schedule, and there is no excuse.
They better
No
take
excuse.
care of it.
Yeah, there is no excuse to lose to any of these teams, Michigan State included. And there has been all this talk about who's going to take what snaps at quarterback. I think Penn State, by all rights, should beat all the 3 teams left on its schedule with literally any of the scholarship quarterbacks on the roster playing. If Penn State can go 10-2, they will be the 3rd highest ranked team in the Big Ten. And because of the way things are shaking out and the potential mild chaos that could still ensue here in November, real good chance you see 2 Big Ten teams go to the playoffs. Then we're talking about the Rose Bowl.
No doubt.
For this team.
Is the Rose Bowl locked into the 3rd Big Ten team?
If there is a Big Ten team and a Pac-12 team that can go, they go.
Yep.
For real?
Yeah.
Well, they're not part of the New Year's Six or anything like that?
They are.
So we're still part of you're still seeing us in that
Yeah,
six?
but so there were
There's
there are always.
that have to happen.
So these New Year's Six games, really the number one thing that has to happen, and this is somewhat dependent on who wins and who loses, somewhat dependent on what does the playoff committee think of a team like Tennessee, which got their asses handed to them by Georgia.
This week. We'll see. We got to see how they come back from that.
Who do they play this week? Does anybody know off the top of their head?
Tennessee?
Yeah.
I think, I don't remember, but their schedule shakes out favorably that they should finish with just that one loss.
Right.
But they're going to be locked out of the SEC title.
Yep.
So the question is, what does the committee think about Tennessee versus the loser of Ohio State, Michigan, who does not get to play in the Big Ten title
interesting.
game? So it is a weird position for Penn State fans because normally the last thing in the world I want to do is hope for anything good to happen to Michigan or Ohio State.
Yes. Right.
At this point, if you believe that you want the best bowl scenario for Penn State, you're also kind of rooting for 2 Big Ten teams in the playoffs. Missouri, okay, yeah.
They should figure that one out.
21 point.
Yeah.
They should thoroughly whoop. But I mean, I want to talk about Penn State, and that is like these last 4. I mean, these are more than winnable games. These are games that we probably 3 of the 4 will probably be double-digit favorites.
Yep.
So we really need to show up in these last 4 games and finish this season strong. I like the effort this past week. Again, it's Indiana. They're in a complete,
What do you always say? If you're playing a team that you need to show them early that you're Penn State, after those first couple of drives, that's what they did.
Put your foot on their throat and you remind them who you are and say, you're still Indiana, we're Penn State. That's what we liked to get to back in the day, and that's what any team would like to do. But I want to get back to that as a program. And, again, I'm not going to go back to the James Franklin, are we elite yet? We need this to be elite, because we're not elite yet. We're not in that top 4 yet, so...
no, but
listening to Juice talk about his recruiting was pretty cool, though.
I don't think we're that far away.
It doesn't feel like they're that far away. I thought Dan Orlovsky made an interesting point where he talked about Penn State having that big-time quarterback to help take him over the edge, and hopefully Drew Aller becomes that as he develops over time. But I agree with what you said about the effort that I saw when they played against Indiana. I was concerned leading up to that game.
You can definitely go out there. It's a crappy stadium. It was windy. It was crappy weather.
Hard to get up for.
You could see guys.
You got to stay at the Shining Hotel.
Yeah, you just come out of the Camp Crystal Lake, so you can see where guys don't get up for that game. And it's easy for Indiana to say, you know what? Oh, we're still in this game. Let's fight. And then you got to take that fight out of them quick. And Penn State did. We went out there and did that.
That's a huge positive sign to me, because teams of the past, at least the last 2-3 years, once you get to that 2-loss mark, guys were checking out. And that's where 3, 4, 5 losses start getting stacked on top of each other. So to see how they played and competed gives me hope for finishing these 3 games the way that they should. Because it seems like this team is still playing hard and they're locked in on that Rose Bowl.
I listened to you and Juice talk, and he was talking about that the R word. Man, you heard my 2 cents, but I don't care if it's not a great bowl or anything like that. It's still the Rose Bowl.
No doubt.
You're still going to sit there and say, I played in the Rose Bowl.
No doubt.
You're going to sit there and say I was 3rd. No, I played in the freaking Rose Bowl. This guy played in the Rose Bowl. Started the game in the Rose Bowl. So it's a great honor.
Absolutely.
Hope we can get there.
And so the difference between getting Penn State into contention with these 2 teams that were chasing in the division, Michigan and Ohio State, you look at where we're at right now. You feel like you're not too far away.
Yep.
You got to have a couple of recruiting battles go your way.
Yep.
You got to start, opening up the NIL pipeline a little bit more.
Yep.
And you just got to get all your stakeholders, internal, external, feeling good about your program.
Yep.
And if you can go 10-2, and you can go to a New Year's Six bowl, and you can win it, then that is a good story to tell to your fans, to your boosters, to your administration, and to recruits.
Yep.
And all of that gives you a ton of momentum heading into next season where, the other thing I think you can feel really good about is all the young talent on the roster.
So
and it was on display all over the field on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, this is just the most young talent I've seen on a Penn State roster, at least since I've been following.
No question.
It's not even close. Drew, he to me showed me a lot just with the way he can sling the ball.
He comes in there and it's like they don't miss a beat.
They don't miss a beat. That
Usually
team
it takes a little bit for the backup quarterback to get in there, get his feet wet a little bit.
Yeah.
It just seems like he just walks in there and it's like, we're good.
And just as a reference point, people are talking about Will Levis being potentially a top 5, top 10 pick in this year's draft. He was the backup quarterback for us a couple times. Came in, he doesn't agree. It could happen. People are talking about it. But when he would come in, you talk about missing a beat. I mean, that would happen to our offense. And Drew, as a freshman,
they weren't going to let him throw the ball.
When they did think about the Ohio State game 2019. He came in, he did some good things running the football, but throwing the ball, it was off rhythm, it wasn't clean, and there was some type of hindrance there. There's none of that when Drew walks into that game. That offense buys into him, and he runs the show.
Well, he's clearly a natural, right? And the two things you can do to help a young quarterback or any quarterback is good blocking up front, and there has been, we just had Juice on, noticeable improvement at what has been the absolute Achilles heel position for Penn State for years. And he can run the ball.
No doubt.
And last year's run game was an abomination.
Terrible.
I mean, I know it drove Mike Yurcich berserk that his first year as the offensive coordinator at Penn State, which has always been able to run the ball, rain or shine, was an absolute disaster. And now we've got 2 tailbacks with 3 games left to play in the regular season who have already tied the program record for rushing touchdowns. It's exciting.
It's unbelievable.
The future's bright. I mean, if we do go out and play in Pasadena, you're going to go against USC or UCLA, in my opinion.
Or Oregon, might be Oregon, too.
Okay. What better way to welcome those guys to the Big Ten?
No doubt about it.
We always see a couple beatings from out there.
Yes. Yes.
We definitely owe them.
Yep.
So, I'm happy.
Focus on what's in front of you.
And then take care of Maryland. You got 4 more games. Take care of these. Just bluntly, just go out and mash these guys. Make them want this. The New Year's Six say we got to get Penn State in here. So we're trekking there. We got to get there though.
You can't go 10-2 if you don't go 1-0.
No doubt about it.
And that's what you got to do. We appreciate you joining us here on the Blue and White Players Show presented by Lion Country Kia. We will be back next Monday at 6 p.m. live on the socials of statecollege.com and Onward State. I'm Chris Buchanani for Keith Goon-Conlon and Aeneas Hawkins. We're wishing you a great night, a great week. Let's go State, beat Maryland. Come back and join us next week. We are.
Kill Maryland. Kill Maryland.
Ever since Chad Powers tried out for the football team, we've been adopting the think fast, run fast mindset.
Think fast, run fast. Think fast, run fast. Think fast. Run fast, think fast, run fast. Oh, crap!
Personally, I think it works better on the football field.
Ready, set, go. Think fast, run fast. Think fast, run fast.
Next time you come to Champs, just remember to keep your head on a swivel.
For my day ones, they ain't in the studio over there.
I think we went too high.
Kia, movement that inspires.
This is the place where roadside markets are filled with fruits and vegetables, small batch jams and made from scratch pies, where mountain trails are explored with friends with names like Ghost and Traveler, where award-winning wines, craft-made beers, and spirits are raised, hearty meals are served, and nights are shared under star-filled skies. This is Center County, Pennsylvania. To find out all that's happening, visit us at happyvalleyagventures.com.
Hi everybody, Mike the Mailman here, to tell you about a State College company that will help you follow the Nittany Lions to their bowl game. Collegiate Athletic Travel. From charter flights and on-site motor coaches to professional staff, the entire trip is easy and carefree. And with their 47 years in the business, you know you're in good hands. You'll get a game ticket and a lot more. Make memories to last a lifetime. Be there next time with Collegiate Athletic Travel.
Hey, Penn State fans, it's game time, and Sionka is hitting the field with 40 dealerships and 25 franchises in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. That means more choices and the perfect new or pre-owned vehicle priced to fit your budget. Plus, factory-trained service experts are just minutes away, and you can feel confident you're doing business with a family that treats you like family. We're a proud partner of Penn State Athletics and preferred auto dealer of the Penn State Alumni Association. The